Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of The Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Central PA Fishing Report with George Costa. How you doing, George?
I'm amazing as always, Marvin. How are you?
As always, just trying to stay out of trouble. And how was the Cape? Did it treat you well?
It was a lovely little family vacation. It was nice. The water was warm up there. We had a great time.
Yeah, and how was vacation re-entry to the shop?
Even better. It was that time of year where there's not an awful lot going on. So, kind of slow rolling it back in here and getting caught up on everything. Takes a couple minutes to answer the 80-something emails that, you get in the week you're away, but it's not so bad.
Yeah, well, there you go. And so I looked at your weather, and you're actually going to cool off a little bit, and you've got some rain coming, and I know you've been away for a while, but what's the word on the street up in State College?
I just talked to the boys who've been fishing all week out here. It's been, morning has definitely been the time to go. We're still seeing good Tricos early in the morning. Midday, the water is low, aggressively low right now on most of our streams. Spring Creek remains good. It stays pretty temperature stable, pretty stable with the flows there, but Penns and the Little J are really getting towards bone dry. And the temps are definitely up there in the afternoons, but early morning game's been great. Get out early, just before dark, and if you want to venture out into the night and brave the packs of coyotes that wander Pennsylvania, you can certainly do some night fishing. That's been good too. So early morning's been good. We are looking to cool off a bit this week, which is nice, and we got some good storms that are supposed to be passing through this week. So hopefully we'll get a good bump and some flows there. But those thunderstorms, they're hit or miss. You got to get an inch to stick anything. So hopefully that'll pick up a little bit and bump up the flows a bit with that. But terrestrials have really been working great. Beetles, ants, crickets, stuff like that's been working good. If you want to search, up until the water gets warm, go for it. Fish have been eaten, and it's definitely easy to get around and, look for those more oxygenated pockets. I think that's where a lot of fish have been hanging out lately as well. Those slow, deep pools right now are not where you're going to find a lot of fish. You're going to find them in that moving water. And that's really going to get them to, a little more active this time of year since the temps are so high.
Yeah, and so, the early morning action, do you guys still have Tricos?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I mentioned a minute ago, the Tricos are still good in the morning. We'll have them through the middle of this month. It's a good long hatch, and they've been good in the mornings. Some days are better than others, like anything, like my joints. But, if you just get out there and look around in the mornings, and you'll find a good Trico hatch for sure. Gotcha. Any caddis or mayflies hanging around? Not an awful lot on the mayfly front this time of year. You'll get sporadic olives here and there. I mean, other than the Tricos, there's been some summer blue quill. Occasionally you'll spot a Cahill here or there. But that's pretty much it. It's just the Tricos are going to be the name of the game. If you get a nice, cool, rainy day, you will often get a really good olive hatch in the middle of summer. But, you want to look for those cool rainy days, or right after a storm can be pretty good for a nice little olive hatch. Got it. And we got a question for you from Scott, and kind of appropriate too, since we're in the dog days of summer. And he really wants to know sort of your cutoff temperature for when you stop fishing for trout, and kind of how you manage that whole process fishing in the summer when it gets really hot. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think that the cutoff temperature for me is probably around 68 degrees. These fish are not happy when it's warm. There's just not enough oxygen dissolved in the water. They get overstressed, and it's, if you're going to catch and release a fish, you're not doing anybody any service fishing over 68 degrees. So that's about my cutoff. 65, 66, no problem. 67, you're kind of pushing it. 68 degrees or above, you definitely want to lay off the water. So that's my personal threshold. And I think that stays pretty much on par with what most people will tell you is, that upper 60s number is pretty much the cutoff. Some guys will fish till 69, 70. If you're fishing for smaller fish, you can almost get away with it because you can catch them and play them really fast. But I don't see a need to do it. I just kind of lay off over 68 degrees. I think that should be a pretty good rule of thumb for most people. Yeah, absolutely. And, folks, we love questions at The Articulate Fly. You can email them to us. You can DM us on social media. You can even drop them in the comments to our social media posts. And if we use your question, I will send you some Articulate Fly swag. And we're in a drawing for something cool from the shop at the end of the season. And, George, before I let you go, you want to let folks know location, hours, and all that kind of good stuff? For sure. We're here Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Sundays, 9 to 3, over here, 2030 East College Avenue in State College, Pennsylvania, and on the world's wide webs at TCOflyfishing.com.
Well, there you go. Well, listen, folks, show it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, George.
Take it easy, Marv.